is your personal responsibility. Now, what these exchanges do, they provide you with mechanisms of security, mechanisms on how you can basically personal responsibility. You can basically save your assets. And the one, when you open up with an email, I advise you to use an encrypted email address. Encrypted email address. There are two in the market, but the most common one is called Proton Mail. Proton Mail. Now, what do you suppose to do? Go to your app store, or go to your Play Store. Download the app, create an email. When you create an email, come back to any of these exchanges of yours you are using and change it from a normal email address to an encrypted email address. How do you do that? I just want to keep it simple and precise. I'm going to share my screen. I just want to keep it simple, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So let's say I have downloaded my Proton Mail. This is my Proton Mail. And I have created an account. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come here on my exchange of Binance. And I'm going to tap at home, on the home icon here. I'm going to tap, Binance icon on top. So then I tap on the Binance icon that exists. Then I tap on the Binance icon that exists on the top of my account. So basically, Angie? I'm busy, you call me later. Huh? I'm busy, you call me later, please. Okay, sorry for that. So now, when I tap on the home icon, I basically now will tap up here. So up here, I'll tap on this arrow, then I'll come here on security. I'll tap here on security. When I reach here on security, I recommend the following. One, me, I use passkeys, I use authenticator, I use email. You can have several, but my most important part is here on the email. Come here on the email, and then you tap on this pencil, and you change your email address. Change your email address and use a Proton Mail. I've seen so many people say they have lost their money. You see, since I added my Proton email on the 16th of November 2021, I have been able to safely have my assets on my exchanges anytime. And whenever I'm dealing with crypto, I use this encrypted email address. It saves me from the troubles of troubles of getting unsubscribed emails onto my account. So the steps are very simple. Create the email, that's the first step. I'll use Binance as said as an example. This will save you from phishing attacks. Make sure you tap here on home, then you tap on the Binance icon here above. Then after you tap on this arrow here, it's here. The arrow is there. So you tap on the arrow, then you come on security, then you come on email. Make sure it's using an encrypted email address. I also recommend a two-factor authentication. Download the Authenticator app and add a two-factor authentication. That's the first step. So as someone who is making a decision to take crypto very seriously, Like I've explained, the first step is to work on your security of your account. Okay? All right. Now, what is step 2? Now, like I've said, the robot is going to trade for you. But as this robot is trading for you, the security of your account is your personal responsibility to make sure that your funds are safe. Okay? Now, the other thing, make sure you do not tap on links you don't understand. Because this exposes your account. Now, having handled security, that was just a pass up that is key and very important. Now, here is your Royalq, and the topic is understand your Royalq robot. Here is your Royalq robot. Your Royalq bot. Understand it. Julius, what do you mean by understanding it? Understand how it operates. Understand how it works. Like I've said, first step, learn to choose the coins you're going to trade. Learn to choose the coin. Why should you learn to choose the coin? Royalq was built to be automatic trading. What do I mean by automatic trading? Royalq was built to give people what we call little profits repeatedly. For example, in Binance, if you're using the Binance exchange, Royalq has done what we call curating of coins. Curating of coins, coins that have a good community, and it has curated close to over 368 coins. 368 coins. Someone has tapped in my screen, and but we move. 368 coins. So if you want to automate the robot and make, because Royalq was built to do automatic trading, I usually recommend you either do half of these coins. If we say that these coins are 368 minimum, they could be even more, 368 in Binance, divide it by 2, a minimum of 184 coins. And I personally recommend that if you want to win big, a good capital would be $500 per coin. So you get 184 times $500 per coin. You see, this is around $92,000. Because with this capital, you can easily come to your bot and do the following one. You say, these are my settings. I have $500 and I want to open up 100 margin calls. So you will automate the robot. You just pick the coins and automate the robot. 184 coins. I have a question. Will you be able to make money consistently? Some answers in the chat. If you automate your robot, will you be able to make money repeatedly? Some answers in the chat. If you decide to use that method, you open up 100 margin calls per each coin, sleep, put your legs in air, you don't care what happens in the market. The robot continues to buy and sell until that coin goes down by 100%. Will you be making money? Let me know in the chat. But someone says, I don't think so. You will be making money. You'll be making money because not all coins will be down all the time. Some coins will be down, others will be up. Some coins will be down. So you will be making money comfortably. But since most of you cannot afford that capital, that's why coin selection is key. You'll be making money all the time. Thank you. You will be making money all the time. But what has happened now? But the challenge is how many people can afford such. So if you cannot afford half, at least quarter of them, I don't think many of us can afford. That's why we introduced signals. We introduce signals to say that Peter has a capital of $100. I have a question. If Peter has a capital of $100 and Peter decides to spread his capital in 10 coins, each coin $10, $10, and he trades 10 coins, will Peter succeed in the business? Some answers in the chat. Will Peter succeed in the business? Will Peter succeed in the business? Some answers in the chat. Some answers in the chat. Peter has $100 and Peter decides to spread his capital in 10 coins. $10 per coin. True. Peter will not succeed in the business. Why? Because Peter doesn't have the capacity to automate his robot. I don't know, am I making sense to someone? So that's why we say the first step is coin selection. Coin selection. And in coin selection, I give two options. One, attend 7:30 East African Standard Time AM morning lesson. Or attend our lesson on Friday. I'll be here on Friday teaching you how to use your Royalq to find a good coin to pick. Attend these two classes so that you learn to select a coin by yourself. That this coin has the capacity to give me profit. Coin selection. Why do you need coin selection? Because of lack of capital. And if you cannot attend these classes, we have an option of giving you signals. Am I clear? Give me one in the chat if you are following. Now, after selecting the coin, then the robot is a quantitative robot. It's key to understand. Quantitative. What do you mean? You need to provide instructions. Just a minute. A quantitative robot, friends, I mean, provide instructions to this robot on what it should do when you enter from here and the market rises. And what it should do when you enter from here and the market goes down. Those are the two instructions we provide in the Royalq business. And if you enter any coin without those two instructions, will you be a successful use of the robot? Some answers in the chat. Because some people become greedy along the business and they decide to only provide one way market behavior. I've entered from here. When it rises by 3%, sell. So someone puts in all $100 that they have. Will they succeed in a business? Some answers in the chat. So when you are using the robot, friends, understand how the robot works. You must provide the two directions. What the robot should do when the market rises and what the robot should do when the market goes down. Am I making sense? Let me know. Because now I'm moving closer and I'm about to finish. Now, you must provide these two types of instructions. And now, since we have understood that, what kind of a robot is Royalq? What robot? When you buy your Royalq, you get two robots. You get two robots. The first robot is what we call the martingale. The martingale robot. What is this robot? This robot works very well in a market that is on a downward trend. When the market's going down, this robot works perfectly. You buy from here. You buy here. Let's use an example. Let me say I have $100. So let me say I have $500 as my capital. I start here with, let me say, $100 and I buy. When the price of this coin is $10, then the market drops to $5. And instead of me coming in with, so here I had, let me use an example here, a capital of 500. I get in the first time with $100 when the price is $10. How many coins will I get? How many coins will I get? How many coins will I get? Some answers in the chat. How many coins will I get? I start with $100 and the price is $10. How many coins will I get? Some answers in the chat. 10 coins. Now the market drops. The price drops to $5. Instead of me coming in with $100, I come in with $200. In the second time here, I come in $200. How many coins will I get? How many coins will I get? The topic is understand your robot. How many coins will I get? Now I come in with more money, $200, and now the price is $5. How many coins will I get? Thank you, I'll get 40 coins. So it means on total, I have 50 coins, am I right? With a capital of $300. What is my new average price? Because we shall get this plus this divided by 2. What is my new average price? This plus this divided by 2. What is my new average price? What is my new average price? Some answers in the chat. 7.5. Now it means that I have more coins with more money invested. When the market rises from here, it does not need to go back to the price of $10 for me to be in profit. Once it reaches a price of 7.5, I will be in profit. Is that clear? That's how your robot works. Am I clear? Let me know in the chat. Because once you understand this phenomenon, am I clear? Am I clear? Now, this is plan A. Now, the other person enters with all their $500 when this coin is at $10. Then the coin goes to 5. Then the coin rises from 5 to 8. Then it goes back to 3. This is how you play with the business. Then it rises to 9. Then it goes down to 1. Then here you wait. Is the robot with the problem, or it is the user who does not understand the robot? Let me know. Now I need some genuine answers. Is it the robot with the problem or the user who does not understand the robot? Now, when you understand your robot, it's the user. So, my leader, you check your average price. Your average price is your entry price in that coin. When you don't provide instructions to what the robot should do when the market goes down, how many of you can see that you can even finish your first year when your robot has not sold the coin you bought? Give me a yes in the chat if you have understood that. How many of you have seen that? You can even finish your first year and your robot expires when the robot has not sold the coin you started with. How many of you have seen that? It's very possible because you entered with your $500 when this coin was at $10. The coin went down to $5. It rose to 8. You were excited. The floating loss is reducing. The future is bright. It dropped again to $3 and you don't have more capital. It rose again to 9. It dropped again to 1. Now here it is here, it is here. It is when it moves up a little bit, it comes to 2. It rises, it gives you some happiness to 5. Things are not happening. Am I speaking to someone? Don't you see that it is important for you to understand your robot? Hello? Now, Shakira, you don't need to write in my screen. Are we following? Now, I have a big question because I came here to just teach something very simple. I have a big question and I need some answers in the chat. Is it important? I have a big question. Is it important to open up margin calls? Is it important to provide genuine instructions to what the robot will do when the market goes against you? Now, that's why we have introduced 3 strategies. One, the bull run strategy. Then we have introduced the buy poverty strategy. Now, the bull run strategy that they discuss every Monday is focusing on people with little capital. Two classes of people, little capital and people who have fear. This strategy is for those ones. Why? Because the strategy is conservative. The strategy is simple. Peter, you have $100. Divide your $100 into 6. Look here, friends. What you get, let me say 16.6. Peter, when the market drops by 0.2 and rises by 0.1, your robot will put in $16.6. If it rises by the take profit of 3%, it will sell. But if it drops again by 0.3 and rises by 0.1, the robot will put in $16.6. If it rises by 3%, it will sell. But if it fails and drops again 0.5 and rises by the buy-in callback of 0.1, the robot will still put in $16.6. This strategy is so good, but it fits this person who already has $100. Why? Whenever the market drops, the robot buys more. Whenever the market drops, the robot buys more. But the difference is, and I want everybody to understand why these strategies are different. The difference is here, this person will put in only $16 and buy at that current price. The strategy is so good because he still puts in the same amount repeatedly. Now, if we are same traders, and instead of me using this, may I come with a capital, let me say, of $500 per coin, and I say, my first buying amount is 15% of this. So $500, this is the buy poverty strategy, times 15% of this. This could be around $75 to be my first buying amount. If I'm using, on the multiple buying ratio, if I'm using 5.5, if I'm using 5.5, or if I'm using 2, 4, 8, 16, whenever the market drops, I buy more. Whenever the market drops, what I bought here is not what I buy here. What I bought here is not what I buy here. 2, 4, 8, 16. I double my purchases. I have a question. Shall we make the same profit with the person using the bull run strategy? Since I've taught you this method here, I've told you here, I told you it comes, it drops, you buy more. It drops, you buy more. The person who's buying more with more money, shall we make the same profit? No. It's because whenever I buy, I pull my average price closer to my current price. Are we following? Are we following? Whenever it drops, I buy more. I pull my average price closer to my current price. Now people keep on asking, why is it that other people are making more money more than me? Have you understood that the challenge is capital? Have you understood that the challenge is capital with a strategy? The challenge is the capital with the strategy. I'll make more money. Now, friends, to use your Royalq robot, you only need two important things. If you don't have the ability to automate your robot, I don't know what's happening with my internet is not interneting. If you cannot be able to, if you cannot be able to trade, if you cannot be able to trade with more capital, if you cannot be able to trade with more capital and automate your robot, is it important to either use signals or learn to pick good trades that can give you profit by yourself? Let me know. According to what I've explained, because I don't have much to explain. If you understand that, you will be making money consistently. You do not just wake up, pick any coin, and then you go in the market. You don't just wake up, go to the market, any coin that makes you smile, you pick it. Are we learning? Because now you know why it is important. Because some people do not take this to be important. For them, they just go, I have a good strategy for trading. I have a good strategy for trading. Then they just pick any coin that makes them smile. At times you pick it, you smile. Some other times you pick it and you will sweat with it. So one, I explained. I said attend the 7:30 a.m. class and learn to pick the coins by yourself, or attend the class of 10:00 a.m. in the morning East Africa Standard Time on Friday and learn to use your Royalq to find coins to trade by yourself. Simple as that. All use the signals. Why do you need to use the signals? Because you understand whenever the market drops, my robot buys more. And when it buys more, it pulls my average price closer to my current price. The market drops, my robot buys more. Whenever it buys more, it pulls my current price, the average price of my entry closer to my current price. Now I have another question. When you trade a coin, is it important for that coin to drop a little bit before it rises? Some answers in the chat. I'm just giving general understanding of the robot. According to what I've explained so far. People think me I'll explain too much, very little concepts. Is it important for the market to drop down a little bit to buy more before it rises? Now, why is it that for you don't want to trade with calls? Now, let me explain. So many people have doubted the power of the AI margin call. I want to explain it here. My mentor told me that stupidity is a person who does not want to learn from other people's mistakes. If someone tells you, when you take that road, in the middle there is a ditch. Then for you say, no, don't worry. Me, I will keep walking. You will fall in the ditch and it may take time to recover. Let me explain. Friends, I want to repeat it here. Even if you open 999 margin calls, the robot can buy all of them and you still remain in floating loss. Because I'm also going to explain what is floating loss. The cunning of the AI margin call is very important because when you set your robot and say, let me say, when the market drops by 1%, and it rises by 0.1, this is the buy-in call back. And this is the drop, the margin drop of 1%. How many of you are sure that when I write 1% as the drop, it is where the market is going to reverse from? Is there anyone who's sure that when I say, when the market drops by 1% and it rises by 0.1, when it rises here is the automatic perfect reverse of the market? Is there anyone who's sure? Is there anyone who's sure about this? Can I get some answers in the chat? Is there anyone who is sure that when you set your margin call and say, when the market drops by 5% and it rises by 0.1, let the robot buy, and you are sure that this will be the perfect reverse of the market? Is there anyone who is sure about this? And some of you have been present in the market. There even reached a time when we say, when the market drops by 10%, and it rises by 0.1, it drops and buys your 10, it continues going down, it buys another 10, continues going down, it buys another 10, continues going down, it buys another 10, and you enter total floating loss. If you have seen this happen, give me a yes in the chat. Thank you. It's an assumption. If you have seen this happen, give me a yes in the chat. So to prevent this mistake, to prevent this challenge, you know, when people come to trading, they are chasing money. When people come to trading, they are chasing money. But the first important thing in trading is protecting your capital. It is not profit. No, it is protecting your capital. The money, you know, when you are making money, you make the money long term. You don't make money in the short term. 1 + 1 = 2. You can make little repeatedly in a long range and you still become a winner. That's why the AI margin call was brought. What does it do? When the market drops by 1% and it rises by 0.1, the AI margin call will come in and say, let me start monitoring and find a perfect reversal. That's why when you put on the AI margin call, the coin can drop. Let me say the first call is 0.2. The coin drops 0.2, but then it rises by 0.1, and the robot is not buying. Then finally, you see the market drops by 5%. Then after here, the robot buys. Then you find your coin is back to green. How many of you have seen this when you switch on the AI margin call? Now, because people are greedy, they switch off the AI margin call with the mindset, I want my robot to buy so many margin calls and I make a lot of the money. When the market changes, you will regret that decision. Give me a 2 in the chat if you have understood that. That's why the AI margin call is key. I can't trade without it because it helps me preserve my capital. That's why on all our strategies, we don't have those so many margin calls. We have simple drops, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 1, 1. Why? Because we are using the AI margin call. We don't need the too much. So once it drops, so I can set 0.2 and the robot buys at a 10%. How many of you have seen this? You set a 0.2, then the robot buys when the market has dipped firmly. Give me a yes in the chat if you have seen that. There is a delay in the purchasing. There is a delay in the robot putting your money in the market, and that is very important. So when you are trading, do not switch on the AI. Do not switch off the AI margin call because you want money. Because you know this market is not our friend. When the market changes, how many of you have seen the market change? You know, people become happy, bull run. The market can change and you get stuck for good. So it is important. It is important to switch on the AI margin call. Have I explained? If you have been able to learn something, give me a yes in the chat. You know, today's training was a little bit logical. Now, I want to explain what is floating loss. I want to explain what is floating loss. Friends, floating loss is not real loss. And it's part of the game. There's no one that can forego floating loss. The only way you can forego floating loss is to do what we call capital management. And the first way to manage your capital is to switch on the AI margin call whenever you trade. The second way is to understand yourself as a trader. Trading or using the robot gets back to how much you want to expose. For example, if I have $1,000 and I put the $1,000 as my first buying amount because I want to make too much money. When I enter floating loss and the market stays for long, who to blame? Who should I blame? The AI margin call should be on if you have understood my training. Thank you. But depending on the type of a trader I am, I could decide to divide either my $1,000 into 3 and I trade 1 or 2 signals. When one sells, I enter another one. Or I can decide to get my $1,000, divide it into 2 and trade $500 one signal. When it sells, I enter another one. This is called wallet. This is called wallet what? Wallet management. Even if you have $1,000 and you get this $1,000 and open 100 margin calls on one coin, this coin, the market can change and this coin continues going down and it buys all your margin calls. But if I manage my wallet well, when this coin doesn't return today, using the Bitcoin dominance I explained 2 days ago, I will still continue with my remaining 500. So if you are not, this is a high risk taker. This is a conservative trader. Do we get the difference? How many of you get the difference? So understand, which type of trader are you? Are you this one? Are you this one? Give me a 3 in the chat if you have understood. Which type of a trader are you? Are we following? Give me a 3 in the chat. Which type of a trader are you? Are you this one? Or are you this one? Are we following? This one is a high risk trader. Now, there are too much riskers. I have $1,000 and I set a strategy with all my 1,000. Are you okay? Because even if you open 1 million margin calls, The robot can buy all of them. That's why you need to divide your capital either in 3. By the way, even some could say $1,000 divided by 5. Then someone says, I will trade each coin with $200, and at least I trade 3 coins in a day. So now if we are going to put up these traders, this one is a conservative trader. This one is a radical trader. So which trader are you? Find yourself. But also, you cannot divide what you don't have. If you have $100, do not divide your $100 into 5. Each coin I will enter with the 20. So when you enter from here and the market goes down, what happens? Pure floating loss. Now, what is floating loss? What is floating loss? What is floating loss? That's what I want to explain, and I finish my class. What is floating loss? When I understood this, my life became better. I'm going to use 2 friends of mine. One of my friend is called Peter, and another one is called Anita. Peter goes to the shop to buy gold. He finds that the price of gold is $10,000. And Peter gets himself 1 bar of gold worth $10,000. Peter goes here on the 10th of July 2024. He goes back on the 11th of July 2024, and he finds that the price of gold that was $10,000 on the 10th, the price of gold is $8,000. I have a question. Has Peter lost his gold? I have a question. Has Peter lost his gold? I have a question. Has Peter lost his gold? So Peter is on a floating loss because Peter bought his gold at $10,000, but the price of the gold is $8,000. Peter has his 1 bar of gold. So once you enter a coin, when the price of the coin was $10, then the price of the coin gets to $7. The difference between this is the negative 3% you have that is in red. It is called floating loss. But the number of coins or the quantity that you bought, if it was 1,000 coins, there are still 1,000 coins. I have a question. When the price of this coin moves from $10 to $7, have you lost your coins? Have you lost your coins? Some answers in the chat. Have you lost your coins? You have not. That's why you open up margin call, so that when the market goes down, the robot buys more. Now, why do people want to sacrifice their heads because of floating loss? The reason why many people have a huge floating loss is because they don't do wallet. They don't do wallet what? Wallet management. But of course, I also want to be a little bit more human. Sometimes you may do even wallet management and the market gets insane. That's why it is a business. Sometimes you need to find yourself that you needed to reinvest in more what? You need to reinvest in more money. Am I clear? Give me a yes in the chat if I'm clear. Give me a yes in the chat if I'm clear. Okay, I don't have much to share today. That marks the end of my sharing. I hope you were able to learn something from today's class in understanding your robot. And I wish you a nice evening. Thank you so much for joining. If you are able to learn something, give me a one in the chat. If you are able to learn something, give me a one in the chat. And I basically wish you all the best. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. If you want to access the signals, I advise you to seek out your uplines who introduce to the business, and they basically will be adding you to our platforms where the signals are sent. God bless you. Have a blessed night till we catch up tomorrow, and I wish you the best. Bye bye bye.